called The Goodwill Speech. His objectives today: prepare a talk that will build goodwill for your organization by supplying useful information of interest to the audience. Favorably influence the audience by skillful and friendly delivery of your talk. His time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Jim. I want everybody to go back in their memory banks. And for some of us like me, that's going to take some doing, go way back there. But I want you to go to a place where you weren't a Toastmaster. Think back to the first time you attended maybe a meeting at a Toastmasters, but you weren't one. And why were you there? You were there to see what things were all about. Well, Kelly's speech today is to present to a group about something that is very important. The service, like Jim said. So please help me welcome Kelly Smith. 5 tips to help you speak better in public. 5 tips to help you speak better in public. Kelly Smith.
Kelly, yeah, if you're not using it, why don't you turn off this?
Well, welcome. You just had a wonderful introduction by Brett on openings of talks. And I want to talk to you a little bit about 5 tips that will help you with better speaking. Now, I know that a lot of people are very nervous about the first time they ever have to give a talk. Why are they nervous? Why are they concerned about it? Some people have given some amazing statistics that it's more, they'd rather die than to give a speech in front of public. But the reality is, most people are nervous because of one thing. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want to look embarrassed. They don't want to look dumb. And so that's the main reason that people are so fearful. Now, so what most people do to compensate for that is they write out their talk, word for word, page after page, of all the things they want to say, right? Because they want to get it just right. But in reality, this is a mistake. Because people have come to hear you speak. They didn't come to be read to, like clear back in kindergarten. They want to have somebody's talk to them. There's a connection there. So this is the hardest thing for most people to get over, is not writing out their speech word for word. And so I'm going to talk to you about 5 tips that will help you in public speaking. The first one is, speak about something you know about. Don't talk about something you don't know. Talk about something you're familiar with. If you would, take your pen and pencil and just real quickly write down 3 things that you know something about, that you're real familiar with. You're an expert in some form or another. Now those 3 things you can talk a long time about, can't you? Sometimes you could probably talk for hours on some of these subjects, right? Virginia will talk about real estate. Lee talking about motorcycles. They could be here for days talking about a subject they know something about. And when you're talking about something you know about, mistakes aren't even noticed because there's just something there. You're engaged with the audience, and it's a lot of fun. Now, number 2, speak from your heart. Don't speak about something that really isn't important to you. Speak about something that is important to you. And I'm sure it wouldn't take very much to find something, an important subject that's dear to your heart. Because when you're talking about something that's important to you, what happens? There's an emotional connection with the audience. And they feel your passion for it. They feel your love for it. And so this is a really good thing to talk about. It's something that's important or emotional. And a lot of times when I speak, especially in big groups, I don't like having notes at all. When you make that emotional connection with the group, there's just something about taking your eyes off the audience, even for a second, to look at notes. When you have that emotional connection, you can feel it. And I don't know how many times you've ever been in a situation like that, but that is a great feeling. And you're watching them, and you're watching their face, their eyes, and you'll notice something like, I don't think they quite understood what I said. So you can alter your speech. And you'll notice when they're not laughing or when they're not reacting the way you expected, that you can change things. But if you're sitting here looking at your paperwork, going down here, you miss all that. And they kind of tune out, and they're worried about what are they going to do for dinner tonight, or where are they going to meet this person they were talking about meeting, or what about this business deal that's coming up. They're lost. You take your eyes off the audience, off they go, somewhere else. So, tip number 3, always have some humor in your speech. It's really important. But when I say humor, I don't mean getting up here and being Jay Leno or David Letterman. You just can't do that. The best kind of humor is self-deprecating humor. Something about yourself. Tell something, a story that's humorous about yourself. A mistake you made. Something that you did that was really stupid. The other night we went to America's Got Talent at the Reno Event Center. They had the concert there. They had all the top 10 performers were all there. I don't know if you heard about that. And if any of you watched it over the summer, it was actually a pretty good season this year. They had some really good performers. So they're taking them all on tour. I was a little nervous to go because Jerry Springer was the host. Didn't know what it was going to be like, but he actually did a pretty fair job. But the one thing I really appreciate about what he did was his humor. One of the little girls, Jackie Ivanko, who came in second place in the whole thing, looked up to him once and said, you remind me of my dad. Jerry Springer looked down at her and he goes, I'm really sorry. Your dad can have surgery. We can fix it. Do something. That self-deprecating humor endears the audience to you. If you try to build yourself up or something, it doesn't work. But if you cut yourself down and so use that type of humor, it really works well. The audience likes you better. All right, number 4, always tell the truth. Now that should go without saying. But I'm sorry to say, we see in the political career right now all kinds of people that decided not to tell the truth and how it's hurt them. Now here's another thing. When you admit your faults in front of an audience, they also like you better. They'll love you for your successes. They'll like you for your successes, but they love you for your faults. So always admit the truth, even if you made a mistake. Just admit it, tell the truth. The other day I was visiting a guy who I was thinking about buying his computer. And I met him down at In-N-Out Burger, down in South Reno. Drove down there and I pulled in. There's a Volvo here, and his truck there. I pulled right in between them. As I was getting out of the car, something slipped, like my computer and everything, and I accidentally hit her car door with my door, or my little truck. And I looked in, sorry lady, I didn't mean to. I went around my truck, on the other side of his truck, and we're looking at his computer and everything, and I see her get out of the car. She walks over and looks at it, and rubs it, and comes back, and goes back again, and finally marches around the side of the truck and goes, "Yeah, blankety blank, 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 you put a dent in my car." Ma'am, I didn't put it in your car. Yes, you did. Hold on a minute, ma'am. So I walked around the car, went over, looked at it. It's just a little bit of white paint off my truck. And I kind of rubbed it, and I said, "Man, this will all buff out." I'm really sorry, man. I didn't mean it. That's supposed to do everything? You're supposed to solve everything? And I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it." "Yes, you did. You and that sticker." She hates my sticker on the back of my truck. Something about it. She said that over and over again. Anyway, she swore it at me the whole time. When you admit it, just kind of calmed everything a little bit. I said, "I'm sorry, man. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to." So, there's nothing much they can do when you admit your mistake. So always tell the truth. Number 5. Speak like you're speaking to your best friend. Have a conversation with the audience. Now, when you're talking with your best friend, what do? Your arms are moving around. You're animated. Your voice is going up and down. It's fast and slow. It's having a good conversation. It isn't monotone. It isn't boring. It's fluctuating a lot. So when you're speaking, just have a conversation with the whole audience. That's what you want to do. And just think like that. So those 5 things. Speak about something you know. Speak from your heart. Always have some humor in it. Always tell the truth. And speak like you're having a conversation. Now, there's a lot more things to help you with public speaking. I've just given you 5 quick tips that will help you. And one of the good things that I've enjoyed so much is joining Toastmasters. Toastmasters has been a very, very fun club. We go to Denny's on Nugget Avenue every Wednesday at noon, and I invite you to come. It'll be a good experience. The thing I like about it is I don't know how many speeches you've given, but I don't know if anybody's ever critiqued your speech. Toastmasters is a place where they actually tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. And it's a really great way to help you. And I know that I've really benefited from those critiques. And it didn't matter if it was from a brand new member or somebody been here for 20 years. I learned something about how to speak better at those meetings. So I invite you to come. So, with that, thank you for having me here today.